The sheep shank is a great knot for when you have no ends of the rope. It's a knot that you don't need either. So without either end of this rope available to you, without either end of this rope available to you, how can you take the slack out of this part? Now, the way that has been found to do this is with the sheep shank. Do this, it's quite easy. It is just pretty much just three loops, which are kind of hard to make while keeping this visible, but will look a little like this. And the way that you position and move these loops matters how tight it will be. And now, it's hard to show, but you can see these three loops. Here's my first one, here's my middle one, here's my last one. It doesn't necessarily matter which way these loops are folded like that, as long as you can see the other ones. And this, to actually tie it from here, this middle knot will go through these other two loops. Now you can see that on my bottom knot, this end, which is now on the bottom, was folded over the other end. So when I hold it like this, it stays open. However, if I tried to hold it the other way, it would come apart. So you can see how that creates a stable loop. And I'll take my middle rope and I'll pull it through there. With my top one, I'll take that loop and pull it through there. And there we go. In slack, it'll be a fairly loose, fairly not well stayed together knot, but it'll look a little like this. And then when tightened, it will hold its tension pretty well. It's not unslippable. It will slip. It is possible that it could slip and fail, but for the most part, it works pretty well. It doesn't do that well against jostling. If it goes into slack and then goes tight again really quickly, but that's not really a huge problem for it. That's not something that you come across that often. One of the major mistakes that can be made, or one of the easy mistakes to be made with this knot, is when you're putting your middle loop through your other two loops, you may put it through the wrong way. For example, you can see here that I would put, with this top loop, the front part in front of this part, I would take this through the bottom, through it like that, because that is how it stays, that loop stays together well. That's how I would pull it. But if I were to try to pull it the opposite way, you'd see it would kind of fall apart. And this is where you kind of question what you did wrong. There's not much of a path that you can take there to really be confused about what you did wrong. Other than that one mistake, there's not much you can get wrong. You just want to pull the middle through. You just want to make sure the middle loop is pulled through as much as possible. It doesn't exactly matter where these two end loops are and how much of the middle loop is on either side of it, whether this loop here was all the way out in the end, or if this is all the way out and the end loop is there, won't matter too much to the actual knot. It'll make it look a little weird, like that. It could make it look weird, but essentially it is the same knot and it'll provide the same function.